They took my $50,000 inheritance, then blamed me for being ungrateful. I'm 28 million, the middle child, in what I thought was an ordinary, loving family. My parents always stressed the importance of family loyalty growing up, and for the longest time, I bought into it. I'd do anything for my family, until they betrayed me in a way I never saw coming. When I was 15, my great aunt passed away. She wasn't close to many people in the family, but for some reason, she always liked me. She would send me books on art and history because I loved to draw and had big dreams of becoming an architect. When she died, she left me $50,000 in her will. It was meant to be a foundation for my future, money to help me through college or maybe start my career. My parents were named as the trustees until I turned 21. At the time, I thought that was fine. Why wouldn't I trust my parents? Fast forward to my 21st birthday. I had just gotten into an architectural internship that paid little but was a dream opportunity. I figured I'd finally use a portion of the money for living expenses while I worked my way up. So, I sat my parents down and asked them to release the funds. That's when things got weird. My mom exchanged a look with my dad, and they both got unusually quiet. My dad finally said, "We need to have a serious conversation about that money." My stomach dropped. They explained that a lot had happened over the years, and they'd had to borrow some of the money for family emergencies. I asked how much was left, thinking maybe $40,000 or so. "About $2,300, my mom said softly. I laughed. I thought it was a joke. "You're kidding, right?" They weren't. Apparently, my sister had needed help with IVF treatments. My brother had run into legal trouble after a DUI, and my parents had used some of it to pay off their mortgage after my dad's hours were cut at work. "We didn't have a choice," they said. "But you did have a choice," I yelled. "That money wasn't yours to spend." My dad got defensive. "We're family. You have to understand. We did it for all of us." I couldn't even process what they were saying. "What about me?" I asked. "What about the fact that Aunt Margaret left that money specifically for me?" My mom had the audacity to say, "You should be grateful we kept a roof over your head. That money helped this family survive." I stormed out and didn't talk to them for weeks. But it gets worse. A few months later, I was still struggling to make ends meet at my internship when my sister, who benefited from my inheritance, had the nerve to invite me to a gender reveal party for her second baby. The kicker? She asked if I could help pay for the catering. I told her no, flat out. She got offended, saying, "I thought you'd want to contribute since we're family." I lost it. "You mean like how you contributed by spending the money that was supposed to help me? You've got some nerve." She hung up on me and told my parents I was being selfish. It doesn't end there. Last week, my parents invited me over for dinner, saying they wanted to make amends. I went hoping for an apology or at least some acknowledgement of what they'd done. Instead, they hit me with a proposal. "We've been thinking about how we can rebuild trust," my mom said, "and we've decided to set up a new savings account for you. We just need you to chip in a little to get it started." I stared at her, dumbfounded. "You want me to put money into an account so you can take it again? Do you hear how insane that sounds?" My dad sighed and said, "You're being unreasonable. We've done everything for you and you can't even help us rebuild what we lost?" That was it. I stood up and said, "You didn't lose anything. You stole it. And now you want me to trust you again? No thanks." As I was leaving, my mom called after me. "You're going to regret this. Family is all you have in the end." Well, if that's true, then I guess I'll be fine with just myself. I've gone no contact since, but the guilt trips keep coming through texts and emails. My parents have even looped in extended family, claiming I'm punishing them for something they did out of love. Am I wrong for cutting them off completely? Or am I justified in walking away after everything they've done?